With the second pick of the 2024 MLB Draft, the Cincinnati Reds select Chase Burns.
Is hammered down the left field line and way gone. A solo home run for Alfredo Duno.
Collier swats one into left field, testing the line. That is down a base hit. Rogers is coming around third. He will score. To replace him at second is Cam Collier with a stand-up double.
Find it short, up in the air. Arroyo steals a base hit.
A swing and a fly ball down the left field line, hooking toward the corner. It is a fair ball, and it is gone. Home run re-signs.
Make it two! Trudeau jumps on the first pitch and lines it to right. Who crosses the plate? And the Tortugas will not say die tonight.
Lewis takes inside, throw to second, is on a hop, and it is not in time. And there is stolen base number 50 for Kyle Headley.
There's a swing and a fly ball into center. Dunn going back on the warning track, leaps at the wall, makes the catch. Dunn holding in. Ball game over.
Swing, here's a well-hit ball to right field. Moving back to the wall. Campbell, that ball is gone! This game is tied!
That's airborne into the gap, into right field. Diving forward and making the catch is Hendrick.
Ian Fu with a skyscraping blast out to right. Daytona is on the board.
There's a swing and a fly ball to left. Rodriguez turns around. It's gone just over the wall into the seats. Home run, Sal Stewart. Kind of a high-liner. It got out of here in a hurry. Fly ball center field. Jorge over Jorge there. And it is caught. Campanon cut in front and caught the ball. Put this game in the win column. Put this winning streak at 14. It's a new club record.
Righty sends. Hendrick signs. Drives it out into right field. That's going to be the ball game. Look out, Flynn. Look out, Flynn. Hendrick comes through. What a play. What a bat for Hendrick, the fans, and the Chattanooga Lookouts.
Welcome into Minor League Monday. My name is Ricky Logan. I am not joined by Roger Strauss today. He is on vacation, so hopefully he's having a good time wherever he's at. But yeah, it's been a decent week for the Reds minor leagues this week. The ACL was in full swing. We had some winning streaks going on in Dayton, and overall, we've had some prospects coming up that look to show some promise overall. And yeah, so before we get too far into the show, I wanted to shout out Frost Buddy. They've jumped the board. You can go to frostbuddy.com/redhotreds to get yours. Scan the QR code down there at the bottom of the screen. I have the Universal Buddy here. I have a 12-ounce or a 16-ounce can in here currently. It holds all your tall cans, your normal cans, your slim cans, and it also comes with a screw-on 100% leak-proof lid to make your Frost Buddy into a tumbler. So get yours on that QR code, and shout out Frost Buddy for jumping aboard and helping us out. But yeah, with the ACL in full swing, they start out Monday. They won 5-2. Steel Hall goes over 2 with an RBI. Hansel Jimenez goes 0-2 with 2 walks. Adolfo Sanchez goes 0-1 with 2 walks and RBI. Juan Brown goes 1-3, and Aaron Watson makes his debut with the organization. Goes 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Overall, a good outing from him, and he has a lot of promise in his stuff. And he was the Reds' second-round pick out of high school last year in 2025, and they paid a good amount of money to keep him from going to college to play at the University of Florida. On Tuesday, they won 5-2 again. Steel Hall hits his first professional home run. He goes 2 for 4. Hansel Jimenez goes 1 for 2. Hervin Murillo goes 0 for 2 with a walk. Jalen Harrison Jr. goes 1 for 2 with an RBI. Nabel Mariano goes 1 for 3. Juan Brown goes 2 for 3. And then Josh Stomont, he signed in 2025, had an injury, missed all of last year, re-signed again in the offseason for 2026, and he pitched an inning with 2 strikeouts in his first time pitching in over a year, so it was good to see from him. Then on Thursday in the ACL, Steel Hall goes 0 for 3 with 2 walks and a run. The ACL Reds lost 7-6 to the Giants. Adolfo Sanchez goes 1 for 5 with 2 runs scored with a walk. Juan Brown goes 2 for 4. Anilson Butin goes 3 for 5 with an RBI. And Johanser Calzado goes 3 for 5. And Iker Radona, who has I've been really high on him in the DSL. He goes 4 innings pitched with a walk, 2 strikeouts, and 5 hits. And Jesus Colina goes 1 2/3 innings pitched with 3 strikeouts. So really good stuff out of these 2 young pitchers that I have a lot of hype into. I've wrote about them on Reds on SI, and I have a lot of faith in those guys and what they can do going forward in the organization. And as a whole, as the ACL, you're seeing a lot of young prospects that are 17, 18 years old that either are making their professional debut, whether they were a draft pick in 2025 or they were a DSL product and they've spent 1 to 2 years in the Dominican Summer League and are just now getting their first taste of baseball stateside, which we're seeing from Hansel Jimenez, Irvin Murillo, Pablo Nunez, Juan Brown, Nabel Mariano, Jalen Harrison Jr. Those guys, they've had their taste of professional baseball, but this is their first taste of baseball stateside, and they got a lot of work to do. Sanchez is a top 10 prospect, I believe. If not, he's top 12, and he's one of the higher ranked outfielders in the organization. And I think he got his first hit stateside, and that was really good to see from him. And same with Juan Brown, and he's had a good week overall. And then on Saturday, they lost 10-5. They split their week, going 2-2. Steel Hall goes 1 for 3 with a double. Adolfo Sanchez goes 0 for 3 with a walk. Irvin Murillo goes 0 for 2 with a walk. Juan Brown goes 1 for 4. Stomont pitches again, inning pitch, 2 strikeouts with a hit. And then Rajateri Marite pitches an inning on Saturday, 3 earned runs with a strikeout. And Doni Aguilera finishes the game pitching 4 innings with 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Moving over to Daytona, they have a player that I am really excited about, and me and Roger really haven't talked about him much, is Ty Doucette. He was the Reds' 10th round draft pick out of Rutgers this past draft. Didn't play last year. I don't know if it was just because of injury or contract or whatever it may be, but he made his ACL debut last week. Goes 3 for 3 with the home run. Just played so well, they moved him up to the single A Daytona team after just 1 game, and he goes 1 for 5 in his debut. They won Tuesday 9-8. He hits a double. Kyle Henley goes 1 for 6, 2 RBIs. Jacob Friend has just been on an absolute heater to start this season. He goes 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 walks. And then a player who hasn't had the greatest season so far this season is Tyson Lewis, Reds' top 5 prospect. He goes 3 for 6, hits a walk-off home run, 3-run homer. And he has been working with Joey Votto down in Daytona, just kind of working on his swing mechanics and just trying to get a better feel for what pitches are coming. And he's still so young. He's 19, 20 years old, and he's a 5-tool player. He probably sees a move to the outfield in his future. He's got a lot of errors this season. Starlin Torres really kind of struggled again, pitching in Daytona. Goes 4 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. And then Brady Aftham, he was the draft pick last year. He just 2 2/3, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and he gets credit with the win. The Tortugas lost 5-3 on Wednesday. Tyson Lewis again heating up, goes 2 for 4 with a double. Ty Doucette hits his first home run for Daytona. Jacob Friend goes 0 for 4, and then Reds draft pick Mason Morris out of Ole Miss pitches 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Doesn't get a win, but he doesn't get credit with the loss either. He's been a pleasant surprise. He was kind of in that middle ground of whether he's going to be a starter or reliever. He was a reliever in college, but he pitched a lot of innings, and I think the Reds are kind of looking towards making him a starter with his minor league journey, and he pitched very well in a team losing effort on Wednesday. The Tortugas bounce back on Thursday. They win 9-4. Kyle Henley goes 3 for 5 with an RBI. Jacob Friend goes 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Tyson Lewis goes 2 for 4 with a walk. Bernard Moon goes 2 for 3 with a double. Ichiro Kano goes 3 for 3 with a home run shy of the cycle. And Edgar Colon bounces back after a rough outing his last time out. He goes 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an earned run. So really good stuff from him. And he's got a lot of stuff. We've talked to Daytona play-by-play guy, Matthew Mouncey, and he's just electric. High velocity fastball, good movement on his pitches, and good command. So he just a lot of work to do, but he's going to be a pitcher to watch out. He could be a top 30 guy here relatively soon. They get rained out earlier in the week. They pitched a doubleheader on Saturday. So Friday they get rained out. Doubleheader on Saturday. They get swept in the doubleheader. Ty Doucette goes 1 for 3 with a home run in Game 1. Jacob Friend goes 0 for 3 in Game 1. In Game 2, Doucette goes 2 for 4 with a double. Jacob Friend goes 2 for 4 with a double in Game 2. Kyle Henley goes 1 for 3 with a walk. And then Shingan Lin has really kind of struggled this year on the mound, but he goes 4 innings, 5 hits, a walk, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and a loss in Game 2 of the doubleheader. And then today on Sunday, the Tortugas lose 11-3. Jacob Friend gets a start in left field. He's an athlete, and he's been primarily used as a catcher, but he does have some starts at first base. He's got some starts in the outfield, left field, right field, center field. He played in left field on Sunday. He goes 1 for 2 with a walk and a double. Ty Doucette does go 0 for 4 with an RBI, and then Bernard Moon goes 2 for 4. I wrote about Ty Doucette today on Reds on SI, and I was just looking at video with him because he was a guy that I really hadn't taken too much stock in, but as a 10th round pick, you kind of find yourself looking past some of these guys, and we've made that mistake with Ryan McChrystal in the past, and he's moving up the ladder really quickly, and at his pace, he could be in Louisville at the end of this season. But Ty Doucette, just looking at video on him, I hate the draw the comparison. And I know I'm not the first person this. Friend of the show, Carrick, his Facebook group is Reds Farm Report on Facebook. If you're not a part of that, if you love Reds prospects, that's the place to be. But he is, like I said, I hate the draw the comparison, but I see some Joey Votto in him. He's Canadian. He's from the west coast of Canada, so not quite the same area as Votto's from. But he ended his college career on a 12-game hitting streak, and his plate discipline is immaculate. Last year, he walked 33 times, had 37 strikeouts. Like I said, ended the season on a 12-game hitting streak, went 5 for 9 in the Big Ten tournament, hit a home run over the Indiana Hoosiers and a win in the Big Ten tournament. He had 9 career 3-hit games, and he's still just 22 years old. He played 2 college seasons. Like I said, I hate to draw the comparison to Joey Votto, one of the greatest Reds of all time, at least of this generation that people my age know of. But he goes 3 for 3 in his ACL debut, and he gets promoted straight up to the Single A Daytona Tortugas and just sets it on fire. He's as of recording, He was 313 with a 1.126 OPS in 4 games this season for Daytona. So he's someone to definitely keep an eye on if you follow Reds prospects, and we'll be keeping an eye on him for sure. And then moving on to Dayton, they sweep the week. They win 5-4 on Tuesday. Carlos Sanchez goes 0 for 4. Kian Vu goes 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Alfredo Duno's finally heating up after his struggles in April. He's hitting over 400 in May. He goes 2 for 4 with a double and a walk. Yerlin Confidon goes 3 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs. Victor Acosta, good to see him back and playing. He goes 2 for 4 on Tuesday. JP Ortiz, 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 8 Ks on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, Duno again goes 2 for 4. Kian Vu hits another home run. He's 1 for 4. Alfredo Alcantara goes 2 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. And then Eastmith Pineda, he's had his moments. He's been up and down throughout his career in the minors, but he's got a lot of potential still. He's still fairly young. He goes 2 for 4 on Wednesday as the Dragons win 4-3. And then on Thursday, the Dragons win again 8-5. Kian Vu hits another home run, back-to-back games. He goes 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a stolen base. That's his 10th stolen base on the year, and he's someone he's been really heating up here lately too. And he's a friend of the show. We've had him on. Great guy, just all around great player. He considers himself a defensive first player, but I think his offense is a lot better than what he would give him credit for, and we're definitely glad he's a part of this organization. Carlos Sanchez goes 1 for 5. John Michael Fale goes 2 for 5 with a double. Victor Acosta again goes 1 for 4. Alfredo Alcantara goes 2 for 4 with the home run. Ovis Portez, he was acquired in the Lucas Sims trade back in 23. He goes 3 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Good stuff from him. And then Friday, the Dragons win again 8-0. Carlos Sanchez showing some power, goes 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Alfredo Duno again goes 2 for 4 with the walk, a run scored. Yerlin Confidon 2 for 5. Victor Acosta hits his first home run of the season. He goes 1 for 5, 3 RBIs. Ariel Lamonte really struggling offensively. I think he's batting at 188. He goes 1 for 3 with the home run. Nestor Laurent, I love his stuff. He goes 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and he's someone that I think he picked up some velocity this year, and he's looking really good on the season. And then on Saturday, the Dragons win 5-3. Carlos Sanchez heating up, goes 2 for 5, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. Kian Vu goes 1 for 4. Alfredo Duno goes 1 for 3 with 2 walks. Carter Graham goes 2 for 5. Alfredo Alcantara goes 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. Yerlin Confidon goes 1 for 4 with the home run. Renato Cruz goes 5 innings, 8 strikeouts in 3 innings. And then Victor Diaz goes 2 innings, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He was the Dragons' pitcher of the month for April. And then on Sunday, Dragons win 8-4. Carlos Sanchez goes 4 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored. He is probably going to see himself in Chattanooga fairly soon. He's batting over 320 on the season. He's really high contact rate. He does swing a lot, but he's a really good shortstop. I think he probably sees himself in the outfield or third base, maybe. But he when he originally came up through the DSL, he was a center fielder. So I could see him potentially moving back to center field, maybe as a long-term solution if he sees himself moving up through the Reds organization. Alfredo Duno goes 3 for 4 with the home run on Sunday. Really good week from him. 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Kian Vu goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. Victor Acosta goes 1 for 4 with the home run. Eastmith Pineda goes 2 for 5 with a double. JP Ortiz, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Overall, an excellent week from your Dayton Dragons. And Alfredo Duno, I can't say enough things about him. He was the Florida State League MVP last year. Reds #1 overall prospect. Absolutely immense talent from him. And I'm going to pull up his stats here, but he is really starting to heat up overall. Like I said, he really struggled in April I will get that number pulled up here. In April, he hit. It wasn't great. He hit 213 with a 347 slug. He did hit 2 home runs, but overall he struck out more than you would like to see out of him. In May, he's batting .462, on base of .576, and a .692 slugging percentage. He's got the home run that he hit on Sunday, 3 RBIs, 7 walks, and just 2 strikeouts. So we're starting to see that Alfredo Duno that we all know that he is, and he has been absolutely on fire these last 7 to 10 games, and it's really good to see him getting back to the player that we know he can be and that he will be moving forward. Moving on to Chattanooga, they kind of had a rough week this week. On Tuesday, they lose 9-3 over the Montgomery Biscuits. Carlos Jorge goes 1 for 4. He's another guy that you could see moving up to AAA fairly soon, depending on what happens with the Major League roster in AAA. If there's any moves made there. Leo Balcazar goes 1 for 4. Cam Collier goes 1 for 4 with the home run and 2 RBIs, and Austin Hendrick goes 0 for 3. On Wednesday, they do win 11-1. Carlos Jorge goes 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Leo Balcazar goes 4 for 6 with a double and 2 RBIs. Cam Collier goes 0 for 4. Austin Hendrick 1 for 4. Dominic Patelli goes 2 for 5 with the home run. And then Ryan McChrystal makes his Double-A debut. He gets promoted on Tuesday to make his Double-A roster move, but he doesn't play until Wednesday, and he goes 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a walk. Jonathan Harmon, we've had him on the show. He's a great guy, great energy. Love his energy. He pitched in the Arizona Fall League last year. He missed the 2025 season, or a lot of the 2025 season, with recovering from Tommy John. He goes 6 innings, 7 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts, and an earned run. And Hunter Parks just keeps up his dominance. He's inning pitched, 2 strikeouts, and he has a 0 ERA on the season. Just great stuff from him. He struggled last year in AAA. I could see him moving back up there fairly soon, and he looks like he can contribute at AAA right now. On Thursday, they win 4-3. Carlos Jorge goes 1 for 3 with a walk and a stolen base. It's his 8th on the season. Shane Sasaki goes 2 for 5 with the home run. That's his 2nd home run of the season. Austin Hendrick goes 1 for 5. Ruben Ibarra goes 2 for 4 with the walk. Jay Allen goes 2 for 4. Jared Lyons pitches 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, and 1 earned run. And Easton Sikorsky goes 2 2/3 with 4 strikeouts and a hit. Overall, a great outing from Sikorsky, and he's been another reliever that's been really good. His ERA is sub 1.5, and he's someone that could see time in AAA anytime soon too. Friday, they win 4-2. Cam Collier goes 2 for 5. Carlos Jorge goes 1 for 5 with an RBI. Leo Balcazar goes 1 for 4. Jay Allen has an RBI, goes 2 for 5. Austin Hendrick goes 1 for 4 with a double. Jose Acuna, good stuff from him. Great outing from him, actually. He goes 6 1/3. 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 12 strikeouts, and just 2 walks. It's overall great from him. And Hunter Parks, again, inning pitched and a strikeout. Saturday, Chattanooga loses 8-3. Carlos Jorge goes 1 for 4. Leo Balcazar goes 2 for 3 with a double. Cam Collier goes 1 for 4. Jay Allen goes 2 for 4 with a triple and 2 RBIs. And Kevin Abel gets hit with the loss, but he goes 5 1/3, 6 earned runs, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Those 5 walks really got to him on Saturday. And then on Sunday, they lose 7-6, but overall a great offensive showing. Carlos Jorge goes 3 for 5, a home run, 2 RBIs. Leo Balcazar goes 0 for 5. Austin Hendrick 2 for 3 with a home run, and Cam Collier goes 1 for 4. Moving on to the Louisville Bats, they get rained out on Monday. On Tuesday, they scored 3 in the 8th to come back to win the game. Dane Leonard hit a 2 RBI single to put the Bats ahead. PJ Higgins hits an RBI single to get the game tied. Edwin Arroyo, we're going to talk about him a lot. He goes 1 for 5. Hector Rodriguez 1 for 4 with an RBI. Michael Tolia 1 for 3 with a triple. Reese Hines goes 3 for 3 with the walk. And then Zach Maxwell and Trevor Kunsel, they both pitched well. Maxwell threw a scoreless inning. Kunsel allowed a run in 2/3, and then Jose Garcia gets the save in the third of an inning. They play a doubleheader on Tuesday. Tuesday. They get swept in the series, but Edwin Arroyo goes 1 for 2 in game 1. Noelvi Marte goes 1 for 3. Reese Hines goes 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Lyon Richardson has had a really good season down there in AAA, pitches an inning with a strikeout. And then Caleb Ferguson in a rehab outing, he goes an inning with 2 hits, an earned run, a walk, and a strikeout. Overall, he's been looking really well down in his rehab assignments, and he could be promoted here pretty soon to get back on the active roster. Game 2, Edwin Arroyo shows out. He goes 4 for 5. He ends the game a double shy of the cycle. 4 RBIs on the game. Noelvi Marte goes 3 for 4. Michael Tolia goes 1 for 3. Dane Leonard goes 1 for 3 with a walk. Anthony Misowitz goes an inning with a walk and a strikeout. And then Kyle Nicholas kind of struggled with his command. In 2/3 of an inning, he walked 3 with 2 earned runs. On Friday, more of the Edwin Arroyo show. He goes 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. The Bats win that game Friday 9-6. Will Banfield goes 1 for 4 with the home run. Hector Rodriguez goes 2 for 5, but he does strike out 3 times. Caleb Ferguson pitches an inning with a walk. Zach Maxwell, 2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, and then he earns the save. On Saturday, more good things from Edwin Arroyo. He goes 4 for 5, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, a 10-8 win for the Bats. Hector Rodriguez goes 2 for 5, 4 RBIs with a home run and a double. Reese Hines goes 1 for 5 with a home run that just exited the stadium. And then Michael Chavis goes 2 for 5 with a run scored. Trevor Kunsel pitches an inning with a strikeout, and Junior Marte allows 2 hits with a strikeout to earn a save. On Sunday, Arroyo cools down. He goes 0 for 4. Hector Rodriguez goes 0 for 4 in a Louisville loss, 8-0. Noelvi Marte goes 1 for 4. Reese Hines goes 1 for 3 with a walk. Chase Petty struggled. He goes 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and just 1 strikeout. He probably gets promoted to fill in for Rhett Lauder in the Cleveland series coming up. So I could see him. He pitched really well in Chicago. I think he's earned another shot at the big league roster. He's been kind of hit and miss in his minor league starts. he's had his shutout outings, but he's had some rough outings, and this wasn't his worst outing, but he's had better outings. But I look for him to bounce back, especially in the start with the major league roster. Jose Franco, he goes 2 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts, and no earned runs. So overall, a great outing from Edwin Arroyo. And he's someone that I wanted to highlight as our prospect of the week because I think he's earned a promotion to the big league club. I think he's ready. He goes 13 for 26, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, 500 average. I don't have enough good things to say about him. He's been on fire, and the one knock we had offensively was that his power hasn't been what we had kind of hoped to see, and he's kind of answered those questions this year. He went into the offseason looking to get more loft on his swing, and he's doing that. He's already surpassed his home run total from last year by 4 or 5. I think he had 3 last year. He's already up to 7. So he's been on fire, and he is more than ready to see time up in the major league roster and make his major league debut. Now the question is, like, what do you do? Who do you move? Where does he play? I think they're working on that. He started a game at third base this week, and I think he's going to play third. I think he's going to play second base. We know he's not going to play shortstop. That's where Ellie's playing, unless Ellie gets a day off and you slide him over. But I think the question is, do they do something with Matt McClain, or do they bench Ke'Bryan Hayes? I think with the defensive ability, I think you're looking at maybe slight disadvantage on defense from Arroyo from Ke'Bryan Hayes. But I think I would take a lesser glove for just some offense. Like Ke'Bryan Hayes has like a 419 OPS this season. He's hitting the ball hard, but at what point do you say bad luck is just not good baseball? And Barry Larkin mentioned on the broadcast on Sunday that, they got to make a change at some point. Just you can't keep running a guy out there batting, 125. And when you have options down in AAA that are ripping the ball like the way Edwin Arroyo has this week. But overall, just a fantastic week from Edwin Arroyo. I don't think he gets promoted on Monday. The Reds are off on Monday. The minor leagues are off on Monday. It's an easy move to make. There's no 40-man shenanigans that the Reds have to make where you got to DFA somebody. I think the easiest move to make is I don't think they do it, but I think you demote Matt McClain and let him kind of figure it out down in AAA, and then you bench Ke'Bryan Hayes and you just slide, Sal Stewart over at second or third. And if you don't play Arroyo at second, you play him at third. But like Sal's been playing so well at first, I don't think you move him. But he's also a decent third baseman. I think his offense makes up for his lack of defense at third. So maybe you see Spencer Steer get more time at first base and you slide Arroyo in over at second base, and you have your middle infield as Arroyo and Ellie, and your third baseman's either Steer or Sal Stewart. And eventually the team's going to have they're going to have Eugenio Suarez back. So I think all in all, they have to make the decision, and I think it's time. It's time to bring up Arroyo. I think we've seen enough of him at AAA. He's doing everything we've asked him to do, and more. He's really finally getting the loft on the ball and hitting the ball in the air. But Roger will be back next week. Like I said, it's an off day on Monday. The ACL plays on Monday, I believe. But thanks everybody for checking out Minor League Monday. My name is Ricky, and go Reds.